It's on the road. I'm on the way to my buddy's home. Gonna go try to talk to his dad. This is so weird because I haven't called him to let him know that I'm on the way. But then I did try to speak to him last night to try to tell him that I'd like to speak to his dad regarding my business affairs and shit, and regarding Full Physical now being a registered company, because his dad's got a registered company and it seems to be doing well. I haven't had a look at his paperwork or whatever, but it seems to be doing well, you know. So I just thought it was wise, dude, to kind of seek input, just any sort of input from someone who's been through what I'm about to go through, you know. So Full Physical is a registered private company now. I haven't filled in all the necessary paperwork, but then that's the truth, that's the case. I still have a couple of other areas that I need to sort out, areas that could very well need the involvement of someone who knows what they're doing, you know. As it stands right now, the company registration service providers are asking me questions that could... I'm admiring that home over there. Even though it's not my style, I like modern homes, like contemporary homes, I think they're called. Yeah, the service providers are asking me questions that I could answer with like some research, but it's better to try to answer them with the advice of a more experienced gentleman. So right now I'm trying my luck completely, dude. My friend, dude, he was kind of discouraging when I ran this idea by him. He was like cracking jokes, but then suddenly trying to let me know that this shouldn't be a move that I should make. But as far as I know, you're not the one with the company, are you? Your dad's the one. Even if you do have a company that you're secretly not telling us about, which you have every right to not tell us about because it's none of our business. I get the impression that your dad knows a lot more. Obviously, your dad knows a lot more about business than you do. You know, he thinks that I'm trying to cut a business deal with his dad because previously I had spoken about like garnering funds or garnering capital to launch the Full Physical shit, because I had come short. I spoke about this in one of the previous videos. I had come short and I was backed into a corner and there was no slithering. At that point, I already did enough slithering. I already escaped out of many corners. So there came a point where I couldn't escape anymore. I just couldn't escape anymore, you know. So I sought funding in a legitimate way. That's why I registered Full Physical as a company. As soon as I did, it was going to become a company eventually, inevitably in the future. But I had to do it now because I want to fund it in a legitimate way. I've got a couple of friends that who come from, you know, comfortable backgrounds who could potentially assist me with that. So another point that I want to bring up to his dad is like, is it a good idea maybe to seek funding for this business by means of issuing shares to these people that I have in mind? Obviously the shares right now they're not worth much because the business just started. Let me cross real quick. They're not worth much because the business just started. But you can't tell me that people aren't keen on investing in a company in its infancy. We all wish, and not to liken myself to Bitcoin, dude, but like we all wish we were there in the very beginning to invest in Bitcoin. So obviously Bitcoin in its beginning was worth little to nothing. Same case with my business. My business right now is worth little to nothing. But with the belief that I'll garner from people, I will be transforming it into something great, dude. Great. From me to you, my business is great. But to a lot of these people, I'm gonna have to be quote unquote reasonable, at least reasonable for them. I'll say I'll be turning the company into something considerable or sizey. But in my heart, I know this shit is gonna be great. It just needs care, dude. It just needs care. And I kind of didn't want to, be in this position where I have to fund the thing because it meant that I had to appeal to many people. It meant that I had to ask and plead with many people. But unfortunately, this is how it has to be. I didn't want to go about I don't want to go about funding for physical in this way because I thought I could handle it on my own. But it's clear that I need some, assistance, be it, financial or strategic assistance, or just guidance or whatever. So I've got my briefcase here. It's not a briefcase, it's a laptop bag. It has my friend's laptop. I don't even have a laptop anymore because I sold it in order to fund this shit. It's got the laptop in it in case I do get the opportunity to sit down and log in and shit online and stuff and do whatever that needs to be done from an online perspective. And then in addition to that, I have a flip file in here that contains a lot of the paperwork that shows that I've registered and I've applied and everything's legit, I could be met with nothing there at the house. I could be met with nothing. His dad could be out. He could be out as well because he does work for his dad. And then on top of that, he does school as well. And then on top of that, he likes heading out to the gym and stuff. So he keeps himself occupied, especially in the mornings like this. So I'm taking a gamble here. It's clear that homie is not really keen. But then, dude, when you want something and it hasn't ever been handed to you, you take it. You know what I mean? You take it, dude. No one's just gonna come knocking on my door talking about, hey, do you want me to assist you with your company? I don't feel I'm being facetious. I don't feel I'm being ridiculous by seeking assistance like this. Or like seeking assistance at all. My approach might be ridiculous. Maybe try to get the dude's, the sir's number and call him and schedule almost said an appointment, but then just schedule a time where you can meet and tell him everything you want to tell him. But again, it's clear that the dude is not keen on that kind of thing. So I just need to try my luck, you know. Yeah, that's enough. Thanks for listening.